Welcome to Nick's Adventrix, and on this episode, we are going to go camping in Death Valley during the Dark Sky Festival. But we're not really going to do a lot of dark sky stuff. So leaving the southwest part of Las Vegas to get to Death Valley, typically you'll take Highway 160, which is Blue Diamond, that takes you through the town of Pahrump. And once you get to the outskirts of Pahrump in the more rural area, you'll make a left onto Bella Vista Avenue. Bella Vista changes its name to State Line Road right at the border of Nevada and California, and you will know that that happens because the Nevada side is paved nicely and the California side, for whatever reason, they do not upkeep the road very well. I really like this drive a lot because it takes you to the Omagrosa Opera House, which was prominently featured in Robert Plant's 1980s video Big Log. State Line Road ends right here by the Omagrosa Opera House, and then you make a right onto California 127 headed north for just a few yards, where you're going to make a left onto California 190 that takes you into the heart of Death Valley. We took this trip in late February 2022, and because of that, the temperatures were very moderate for the Mojave, which I'm pretty sure is why we were so fortunate to see a pair of wild horses grazing here on the side of the road. And of course, we had to do the obligatory selfie in front of the Death Valley National Park sign, so here we are. Oh, we're so cute. If you don't have an annual parks pass, you are going to need to buy a ticket, which you can buy right here on the right at the kiosk. If you are just planning on driving through the park, then you don't need a ticket. You can just drive right through. It's like been around since the 20s. And it's the cheap rooms are like, they start at $500 a night.
Yeah. Well, it's booked anyway, because I checked.
Yeah, April and I were talking about how expensive it is. That's the Inn at Death Valley, which has been around since I think the 20s, but it is super expensive. It's like Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons expensive. Like cheap rooms are $500 a night, and then it goes up, especially during the busy season, which is like October to April because of the moderate temps. Anyway, starting there at the inn, it's at elevation sea level, then you go down, then you come back up again to elevation sea level. So now we're coming back up, and as we proceed west towards Stovepipe Wells, you will pass on the right the Mesquite sand dunes. This is where we're camping. Looks like we've got plenty of room. Bar, restaurant.
Yes. I've been there. Well, we got plenty of company.
So doing some research for this trip, I did call and speak to a park ranger, and they recommended Stovepipe Wells because this is one of the paved campgrounds that rarely, if ever, fills up. I think I saw somewhere online somebody doing a review of it saying that they were there on New Year's Eve and there were plenty of spots even then. It does cost $8 a night to stay here, but the great thing is your spot is reserved, and it's a little community, and it's kind of cool to see everybody's rigs and camping setups. So we can do these two, and then we'd be like right here.
Yeah.
So you can see to the right of the screen before we park, there's a lot of tents set up over there, and there's an area where you can camp that isn't really in the parking lot. A lot of people do camp in the parking lot, but there is a limit to how far out you can go to plant your tent. So once we got our camping spot, we decided it's time to go to the Furnace Creek Visitor Center and explore it, and also pick up our tickets for the events that we wanted to attend for the Dark Sky Festival. We didn't attend very many. Because it's Death Valley! You want to explore, right? So I've driven through Death Valley Park a number of times, but it's usually on the way to somewhere. I've never actually stopped and explored the visitor center or any of the features of the park for that matter. When you do enter the visitor center, to the left is the gift shop area, and then there's also this huge relief map that shows you all of the features, like where the charcoal kilns are, the racetrack, Ubehebe Crater, Darwin Falls, all of that. It's really cool. Then once you move to the right, there's this whole exhibit museum area with these giant life-size statues of wildlife that you can find in the park. There's beautiful, informative exhibits about the indigenous people of Death Valley. There's information about how borax mining came to be. And of course, there's a mining exhibit, also showing the different materials that they sought in the valley, like talc, galena, copper, sulfur, and gold, of course. Gold. For me, I think the most fascinating part about Death Valley is its geology. It's just so extreme. You've got the lowest part in the 48 states at Badwater Basin, and then just a few miles to the west, you've got the highest place in the 48 states, which is Mount Whitney. So we finished our little tour of the visitor center, headed back to Stovepipe Wells, and decided let's check out the restaurant and the bar. Shoes and shirt. You got your standard fare here, you know, burgers, sandwiches, French fries, and you got a full bar and some pretty good beer. Here, let's walk past the general store. We'll go up this way. Time to go back to the camp and finish setting up.
This right here. This? Oh, okay. Broken. Can't take you anywhere. There we go. I got it. There we go.
The main dark sky event I wanted to attend was the astrophotography at the Mesquite Dunes. Did I film anything? No. Here's a picture of the Mesquite Dunes. Here's also a picture of some of my pictures that I took. I didn't quite get it on that one. Didn't get it on that one. And then a ranger showed up, and I finally got some good pics. So here you go. The fruits of my dark sky labors, right there. The Milky Way at Death Valley at the Mesquite Dunes. And that was it for our dark sky adventures. Moving on. The next few days of our adventure in Death Valley, we just decided to explore without any commitments or obligations. Since Mosaic Canyon is so close to Stovepipe Wells Campground, we decided that would be a perfect after-breakfast hike.
It's really cool. It's a mosaic.
Mosaic Canyon is a great hike for the morning because of the way the sun is in relation to the Slot Canyon. You get a lot of shade. We are doing this hike in late February, so it was already quite cool and nice. Would I do this in summer? No. Would I hike anywhere in Death Valley in summer? No.
Here's how April hikes, everybody. I told you it was a slide. It looks kind of fun.
That's how I like it.
Here comes Lenny.
Oh, I was much more free.
After our hike to Mosaic Canyon, we decided to go and explore more parts of Death Valley. We decided to check out Artist's Palette. On the way to Artist's Palette, we stopped the side of the road because we were getting a pretty cool view of Telescope Peak, which is the highest point in Death Valley. At this particular time, it was spectacular because there was snow there. It's kind of weird to see snow in Death Valley. Artist's Palette is so named that because of the oxidation of the different minerals over time that you see along the mountainside here. Moving on from Artist's Palette, we decided to head on down to Badwater Basin, the lowest point in the contiguous 48 states. Badwater is 282 feet below sea level, and the reason why it's named Badwater is because the early pioneers and prospectors that traveled through Death Valley tried to get their livestock to drink here. You can see to the right there's a little bit of water there in a puddle. The livestock were not having any of it. Because it's way too salty. On our last day, our last stop in Death Valley was Dante's View, a beautiful, scenic overlook where you can see all the way clear across to the Sierra Nevada and then all the way the opposite direction looking east to the Spring Mountains, Mount Charleston in Las Vegas. It was incredible.
Okay, so Telescope Peak. And just beyond over there is the.
I don't think they're open.
You can see the Sierra Nevada peeking out over there. And over here, I'm pretty sure that's Mount Charleston.
Howard.
Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Nick's Adventrix. Hit like and ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.